When I started out learning about trading and how to trade in the Forex markets, I was doing a lot of things wrong and losing a lot of money. And one thing that I noticed about my trades and how things were going were that in some pairs I had more success than others. And that got me thinking on what I was doing wrong. And in hindsight and looking at back at the years right now, I did a lot of things wrong. But the biggest mistake that I was doing is that I was trading over 50 different pairs. So as a beginner, not only did I lack a lot of knowledge in the trading markets, I was trading so many different pairs that I was struggling to get used to how the trading charts of those pairs were moving. So each different chart is moving differently, and each different pair has different movements and different kind of patterns into its charts. And when I was trading so many different pairs, I wasn't getting used to the pairs and how they're moving, and that caused a lot of issues and caused me to lose a lot of trades. And eventually I caught on to that and started to test out my strategy back then on different pairs and noticed that I had a different win rate on each one. And what I did was cut down from 50 different pairs to my favorite 10 pairs, which basically had the best win rate for my strategy at that time through back testing and front testing. And essentially what I was doing wrong is that I wasn't trading my favorite pairs. I was trading everything and anything that I could find in front of me, which was a huge mistake. So if you're a beginner trader and you have like 50 different charts open with different pairs, you are probably going to be doing this mistake as well. So one of my best advices that I will give to you is avoid this mistake that I was doing and avoid trading so many different pairs and just stick to maybe 10, maybe 5, even less. There are some people who just trade one pair or maybe three pairs. I think the less the better, but it depends on the person. I think less than 10 is okay, and I will advise you to stick on to a few pairs. You might be getting less trades, but those trades will be of more quality. So I would prefer to have quality over quantity. As you, the more you trade those pairs, those specific pairs, you're going to get used to how they're moving. So I have an example here of two different pairs. So I have this Swiss franc with Japanese yen, and this is a forex pair that I don't really trade much, but I was trading this at the time that I was as a beginner. And if you see this pair, you can see that it kind of moves in one direction constantly without much movements up and down, aside from a few sharp spikes on the downside, for example in this side here, which is probably caused from news. So you can see here a huge spike on the downside and a huge spike on the upside, but apart from those, you can see the candles and the prices moving on a pretty steady price pattern. So you can see how this chart is moving, and if you were to be trading this chart, you will be able to spot this out and be more comfortable trading this chart in the long run. And I have another example of a way different chart that I usually like to be trading. So this is the New Zealand and the Canadian pair, and you can see straight away how this chart is different from the previous one. So this one has sharp moves up and down constantly, which for me is better in my own strategy, but it depends on the strategy. So you can see different pairs have different movements and different patterns. So getting used to and accommodate your strategy on those pairs that work best is crucial. So my best advice to you is avoid doing the mistake that I was doing in trading 1,000 different pairs, and only stick with a few that you like and get used to those pairs. Get Only have those pairs open on your charts and have a look on the past on how those pairs were moving. So if you're not you haven't traded much into the forex pairs or any instrument that you may be trading, just have a look on the charts that you might be going to be trading and look back on how price was moving. So you can see how this chart is moving, moves sharply up and down depending on the trend, and that is why I like this much. Unlike the previous one that I showed, which is not having as many sharp moves as before, it has mild moves on the trend. You can see slowly moving upwards, unlike the previous one. So each pair is moving differently, and you need to find the pairs that work best for your strategy. So this is my best advice that I can give you to avoid this huge mistake that I was doing. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe on the channel, and comment any thoughts that you have on this video, or if you have any recommendations for a video that you want me to cover, please comment that below. Anyway, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day, and goodbye.